Here we're going to show a quick demonstration of our automatic failover to cellular and restore, and a connection going to our NetFree internet egress that comes out of our data center here in the US. So I have an appliance here that's connected over Ethernet using my local ISP connection, which is a dynamic IP, and we have a tunnel going to our NetFree egress service. Now this is a compulsory tunnel, so any data and traffic goes over that tunnel, and if the tunnel's down, then there is no data leakage at all. I'll bring up a ping window here. This is going to yahoo.com just to show us that there is data traversing from my laptop through the tunnel out and back again. And I'm also going to bring up a page and separate the tab out here that just shows the cellular modem, because we can see in real time the connection going up and down. And so this is my cellular modem with the details. You can see that it's in standby. Now the logic that controls all this is our system monitor feature. And so this system monitor feature is under the FlexPath tab, and you can see here that we've got our testing going on, and it's saying everything is good, green is good, and that our LTE is disabled, and we've got some parameters over here. Now basically how this particular setup is working is we're doing a ping test. We're sending out 3 pings every second, and then we're going to evaluate the responses of those pings, and we're going to say, okay, if there's a certain amount of pings we lost, we're going to go into fail state, and if we're in the fail state, then we need a certain amount of pings before we revert back. So we have some built-in hysteresis so that you don't have a flopping situation and no data being transferred because it's always going up and going down. Now we're simply pinging Google DNS here, 8888. That can be any address. And we can also have multiple test types like ICMP, tunnel, HTTP. We have some other logical test types. So it's highly configurable and tunable to your situations. Another thing to note that we have in our feature that's pretty interesting is that we can use the next hop router IP. We can grab that from DHCP, so you do not have to statically configure that into your device. And the reason this is important is because even in a failover situation, you will still be testing that next hop so that when it comes back on, you can evaluate it for a restore situation. So now I've got pings going, I've got system monitor running, and I've got our cellular on standby. So now I'm going to disconnect the Ethernet uplink, and we're going to see a couple things happen. This is going to go to fail. We're going to see the LTE come on immediately. You're going to see over in the LTE window, you're going to see that it's going to establish a connection, and we got a dynamic IP from our cellular data provider. Also, the tunnel will drop, because every time the path changes in this particular configuration, we actually establish a fresh new tunnel with a new security association and everything. And so right now the path is up, and we're going to get the tunnel coming up, and then once the tunnel is up, the pings will start again, just as normal. And here we are. So now the pings are going over the cellular path through a tunnel instead of the Ethernet path. And this is all automatic. There's no configuration or reconfiguration of anything I did do on my laptop or the network. It's all automatic, and it's all hidden from the user. Now, let's say my Ethernet comes back on and all is good. So I'm going to reestablish my Ethernet connection, and the test will go on. In 1 second, you'll see that test status go to pass, because we're now getting packets at the appropriate level. It's going to drop the cellular connection here, and then it's going to reestablish the tunnel. And once the tunnel is reestablished, the pings will go over that path now. Okay, and without reconfiguration. Now, restore takes about 3 seconds. It's actually fairly quick and automatic. But you see we've lost 3 pings there, and now we're back up again. And now the data path is going over the Ethernet connection. Again, no configuration changes, no modification, totally automatic.